Good morning, everyone. This is Gary Kay, and you're watching a video version of my Rants and rAVes podcast because I'm joined with Rob Ziv, who's the Director of Business Development for Almo Pro AV. Rob, how are you?
I'm doing great, Gary. Thanks for having me.
Listen, next week we're going to do a webinar on kind of an everything you need to know about audio. I think it's titled something like, AV starts with A. And a couple of years ago, I did one of these where I talked about sort of like where audio fits in the industry. But this one's going to be a little different, Rob. This one's going to be sort of a primer on everywhere audio is right now, meaning technologically, what's going on in audio, what are some of the new products and technologies in audio, and where networking is with audio. And this is apropos for you because you handle all the audio products for Almo.
Yes, Gary, and I'm very excited to be participating in this. We've seen a number of changes coming down the pike when it comes to audio. It's kind of funny because folks think that audio is the same old stuff. The physics don't change when it comes to it, but it's very exciting what's been happening in the industry and the places that we're putting it and the ways that folks are integrating audio these days. So this should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and in fact, for those of you listening to this or watching this right now, on Tuesday, April 23rd, 2 p.m. Eastern, I'll be doing this AV Starts with A. There's a link here in the description of the podcast. If you can't find it, just go over to almoproav.com, click on education. You'll see the webinar links there, and you can sign up to register if you can't find the registration link in the description of this podcast. But let me go over some of the subjects that we're going to cover so that this gives you a reason to attend, because this is not going to be your average sort of just, hey, by the way, we're going to talk about some products, but we're mostly going to talk about the technology and sort of how the products fit into the technology. But like, if you don't really understand DSP, if you don't understand mic arrays, beamforming mics, Dante, AEC, echo cancellation, speaker arrays, and sort of what's going on with AV over IP, that's why I'm doing this webinar. So if you're curious about what's going on with these technologies, that's what we're going to talk about.
It sounds like a whole lot of value packed into a little bit of time, Gary, so I'm thrilled to be a part of it. Should be a lot of fun. So
in fact, what we're going to do is a little different. I'm going to do some education on each one of those. I'm going to talk about some of the applications right now. For example, one of the hot applications, Rob, you and I are privy to know about some new products that are going to debut at InfoComm that nobody knows about yet, that are going to really sort of transform the collaboration space. And that's a big thing. Collaborating, Zoom changed the world. But the funny thing is audio hasn't changed since Zoom changed the world as far as video conferencing goes. We're still sort of like the audio part is sort of an afterthought. And in fact, it's a big part of what needs to be fixed in our industry. It's very complicated. You either have to use $2,500, $3,000 audio systems, or you use like a cheap Bluetooth speaker connected to a speaker, or you use a lot of people use their speaker phone on their phone itself, on their iPhone or their Android phone. But there's a new product category forming for UCC products. And Rob, you and I are familiar with one of those companies, and there's more coming.
Oh, absolutely. And we've seen pretty much an explosion of things in the market to be able to address audio and Zoom spaces. One of the things that we find very clearly is that when you're on a meeting or in a conference call just like this one, and you're able to see the other person just fine, but you kind of have to struggle to hear what they're saying, it brings down the level of the entire meeting. So much of your energy is spent just trying to figure out what people are saying, even if you don't realize it. And so audio is such an important part of that, and there's new tools on the market to be able to help make that experience so much better for people.
Actually, you bring up a really good point, because there is a difference between hearing somebody and understanding somebody. And that's the key to building a good audio system, because I'm sure all of us have been in a church, a synagogue, or a temple at some point in time. We can hear. We have no idea what they're saying. We've been in a concert and somebody's yelling and screaming at the microphone. And as long as they're playing music, you can hear them, but you can't understand them. But there are solutions for that. And part of it comes down to the acoustics, but most of it comes down to the audio design. Because we can overcome a lot of acoustical considerations with DSP, for example, in placement of speakers and microphones. So this is what we're going to talk about. Again, it's next Tuesday, April 23rd at 2 p.m. Eastern. It's a free webinar and awesome. Rob, we just got it approved for CTS RU, so this will give everyone one CTS RU if they attend the webinar. All they have to do is attend and take a quick test at the end. It's like, 5 or 6 questions that you won't have a problem with passing it. And the great thing about this is going to educate you on sort of where the state of the audio industry is right now. We will talk about some of the products that are sort of some of the innovative products out there that are kind of drop-in and use products and system products. And Rob, the second half of the webinar, I'm counting on you to help me, because the second half is going to be me and you sort of powwowing on where things are in some of the companies and some of the products out there. And we're not just going to talk about Almo products, even though Almo is sponsoring this with the Sound Options Group. we're going to talk about other companies as well, because, we can't just, as much as you would like to believe that everyone's only going to buy products from Almo, there's a lot of other products out there. And what's great about my partnership with Almo and our partnership with Almo, doing all of our webinars through Almo, is that they don't put any sort of restrictions to just talk about Almo products. But we will talk about some, but we'll also talk about some of the other companies that are out there that are making a difference in the industry. So, Rob, I'm excited about you joining me with that section.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm excited about it as well. I love both geeking out on all the different things that are out on the market, whether it's something we have or not, and also love being able to help people understand what's going on and help them navigate this. So I'm looking forward to this, and I'm looking forward to folks joining us.
Just look below and register now. It's next Tuesday, April 23rd, 2 p.m. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.